Wake up, wake up.
I got the champagne. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Your favorite street plugs are here to deliver.
Good morning. It's your girl Bia
And your girl Key.
with another episode of Champagne Mornings where we give you a whole lot real early in the morning.
And you might need some champagne with it.
We're going to start this episode like we do every day with a segment called It's Too Early for This. Key, what you got for us?
So an employee at a job decided he couldn't fuck with his coworkers anymore. He's out in Arnold, Missouri.
Okay.
So he spiked everyone's coffee with LSD to get rid of the negative energy.
First off, why are you walking around with just LSD? Enough
He
that you're
clearly
willing to just...
planned that. Like,
That
he
you're-
was like, oh, you niggas got on my nerves for the last motherfucking time.
So it was only one time that he did it?
That's...
It wasn't like continuous?
No, it was one time, from what the
Oh,
article
okay,
says.
okay.
They were, his coworkers started feeling dizzy and shaky and couldn't figure out why. So they were taken to the closest hospital because they were tripping out on LSD. And from that, you know, they found out that they were tripping on LSD.
He did all of them? Like everybody?
It mentions two. It mentions the two that went to the hospital. I'm going to guess he did his cubicle, his teams.
Okay. What kind of job did he have? Did it say? Like, so he was...
No.
It doesn't say what kind of job he had?
No, it just tells me that he was 19. So his name's not
Only
released.
19.
He was only 19. So his name wasn't released. He put it in their water bottles to change their energy.
That's ridiculous. It reminds me of an article I was reading earlier this week, just about crazy things that happen at work, about this lady who, like, chased down a customer to beat her up and then came back to work.
Oh, I seen that. Didn't she kill her? She didn't beat her up. She killed her
Yes.
and then came back to work.
She did kill her. I was trying to find the article, and since I couldn't find the article
I got it.
I was going to say killed.
She was an Arby's manager.
Oh, I sent it to
She
you?
shot and killed a customer after he threatened and spit on her, which he
Yeah, it
shouldn't have
says
been
she, like,
disrespectful.
In the article, it says like she chased them first. Like, I can understand that, but how are you gonna go shoot and kill somebody and come back to work? Or
Shouldn't have
shoot
spit
to
on.
kill.
Hey, there's somebody at my job who just got fired for that. She went outside and flashed on a customer and came back in. And the manager was like, nigga, I watched you. Like,
I had a friend who was a manager at Jack in the Box, and this homeless dude was in there, and he just kept sleeping in there. Actually, she said she let him live a couple times, but then she finally was like, you know, you need to go. And long story short, they ended up fighting. Like, she ended up fighting the homeless person in the Jack in the Box.
that's why you can't let that live the first time.
Can't let it live once, and then it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
In other news,
Don't lose your job trying to deal with other people, basically, because you guys are out here drugging them and fighting customers, and y'all wilding.
big facts. So, Jussie Smollett
He got acquitted, right?
got all 16 charges dropped, and he maintains that he was truthful and consistent through the entire time. So he is maintaining that whatever happened or whatever the alleged fakeness and the brothers coming out saying that they was paid with a check and all of that.
Yeah.
He's saying all of that is fake.
Yeah, I guess he's been proving that.
Maybe. The article that I was reading about it said decisions were, they took into account all evidence in addition to his community service or the work he does in the community and him forfeiting his bond to the state, all into consideration. And the judge ordered for the public court file to be sealed. So really, we'll never know what actually happened.
Oh, so he called thirsty.
Yeah,
He
his
called
lawyer-
thirsty.
His lawyer is the shit, and that just reminds me, moving right in to the meme about R. Kelly needing Jussie Smollett's lawyer. Like, have you seen that meme?
Yes,
It's like-
he definitely needs that lawyer. Well, no, he doesn't, but he does. If he wants to beat this case, he needs that lawyer because that nigga clearly got thirsty.
Like, you got it sealed before you even left the courtroom? Like, you got that order to be sealed before you even
Right
left
then.
the courtroom?
That's
Usually a process.
Yeah, as he hit the gravel, he was like, yeah, he's acquitted and it's sealed. Like, that was a 2-time gravel hit.
Right. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, and I'm out.
Jesse, can you give us, when we get rich and we meet you and you listen back on this, go ahead and slide us Thirsty's number 2. We need a Thirsty.
He got a real life Thirsty.
He got a real life. He probably went to the dude playing Thirsty, like, find me a lawyer like you, my nigga. I'm not resting until I got a lawyer like you.
Somebody, because that's crazy to me.
You got it sealed before leaving the courtroom. I didn't know that was a thing.
Me neither. That's the biggest thing that catches me by surprise, and the fact that they didn't release any details, but they don't have to release no details because it's sealed anyway.
He was like, you gonna put some respect on his name.
Anything that comes out about what happened is all going to be allegations.
You know what I just realized? That means whoever is Empire written by Lee Daniels too?
Yeah.
Okay, that means Lee Daniels got a Thirsty and he's gonna make sure his family's taken care of.
I don't know, because remember, wasn't one of the whole issues the fact that Empire was like cutting him from some shows?
Because they've addressed that. Lee Daniels has addressed that's a lie. Taraji has addressed that's a lie.
Oh, okay.
All of them addressed that's a lie.
So it was just a whole bunch of rumors.
Whole bunch of rumors.
That's crazy. And the cool part about it is on my timeline, I've been seeing a lot of people like, oh, where's that same energy now that the charges have been dropped? Like, first off, I don't feel like his situation is one of those like R. Kelly. Like, R. Kelly, you have an opinion because that's crazy. The Jussie Smollett, everybody was just like, what? What happened now? Like, we were watching it unfold in shock as well.
Right. We was like, oh, that sucks. Wait, he did what?
Big fact.
Hey, but we said he needed a Thirsty. I'm pretty sure on our first episode discussing him, we said he needed a Thirsty on his team. Yeah. That nigga got it.
Might actually be in luck, though, because the lawyer that was working to destroy R. Kelly has just been charged with extortion and bank fraud charges. So remember how out of nowhere there was all of a sudden a lawyer who said he had additional tapes that proved that R. Kelly was still messing with children?
And he dropped like 3 back to back.
And that's why he released the videos?
He released one of them. One of them was released. So there was a new video actually released that people went and watched. I'm not watching child pornography. But they went and watched it. Mm-hmm. And because I remember people posting like, oh, I got the video. And I was thinking in my head, you're a pervert. Unfriend. So
I don't think he was able to actually release those if he was using them for evidence, though.
He released one of them. He had like 3 and he released one.
Was it the one that was already done? Because he said that he had that one.
From what I was explained, it was a new one. It was a new one. It was a video where he's pisses on the little girl again, but he's actually smashing her, and that's the one where it was like your 14-year-old and blah, blah, blah. All that nasty extra ass shit.
I think that's weird because if it was released, I don't see how he would be able to still...
I don't see how it was able to get released and not be counted as child pornography.
Exactly, it is. That's what I'm saying.
That's
especially
where
for it to be released by a lawyer, like that doesn't add up to me.
Right, that's where I was confused at too. But according to, I didn't go look for the video.
He would be able to use it, saying he has it, if that is the case.
He could have just released it. I didn't go look for the video to prove that true or false because I didn't want to see that video.
Right.
So
I'm gonna have to look up and see if it's true. We'll follow up on Friday, you guys. I'm not gonna watch either, but I never watched the first one.
I never watched the first one either.
Yeah. But anyways, the lawyer Michael Avenatti, he's 48 years old. He conspired to extort Nike. Well, his charges are for conspiracy to extort Nike, embezzlement, bank fraud, and tax evasion. His plan was to extort Nike for over $20 million. So Nike hired him to look into a major college scandal that was going on. Mm-hmm. And his investigation ended up leading to heads of the Nike Corporation and the college basketball section. Mm-hmm. And so he was trying to use it to extort them for $20 million. The information that he was found, that he was hired by Nike to look into. Yeah.
Why doesn't he think that? He thought they'd want to save face. Mm-hmm. Nigga, they hired you to look into it. They knew what they were looking for.
Right.
Like, I don't get where that logic was.
And then he embezzled money from one of his other clients to subsidize a private business venture of his own. And then also wire fraud.
And wire fraud. Mm-hmm. Like he was wiring money illegally?
Yeah, you know wire fraud. Well, wire fraud has a few different ways that you can do it. Allegedly, you can do it from wiring money out of people's bank accounts, when they don't know about it. Some people do like money laundering through wire fraud, out of country banks.
So which one did he do?
It didn't say.
Oh, okay.
Other than it saying
I
that
don't
he
think
did
out
take
of country
extra money
banks
out of
should be
his own-
illegal.
Out of his own, well, that would probably go under the tax evasion portion of it.
Because that's what you're doing. I mean, get off my money, cuz.
However you feel, that's illegal.
It's very illegal.
So-
I'm not rich enough for nobody to come and search me about it right now. So
Right.
holla at me in a couple years, but by then I'll be so rich. It's like, just pay the taxes, bro.
What are you doing?
What are you
Just
risking
pay
your
it.
life for? Just pay the fucking taxes, bro. But that's crazy. I think it's crazy that. So was he really just going after R. Kelly then to become relevant, to make more money and get more clients
I
and
don't
rob
think
more
it wasn't
people?
necessarily a thing of becoming relevant because he's already a high-profile lawyer. Obviously, if he's getting hired by Nike and things like that, I think that was just another way of getting money. Like he's trying to get paid however he can get paid. Obviously, he don't have any boundaries as to what he'll do for his money if he's stealing from his own clients and trying to come at Nike like he did. Like
He thought you came at Nike, nigga. Nike gives no fucks. I've never seen them give a fuck.
right. So that's where we're going. We're gonna go ahead and play you guys a song, and then we're gonna get back into the rest of the show.
Are you playing my song?
Taking Chances by
This is
Stunna
my
Kid.
shit.
All right, well let's go for it.
Like a professional wrestler, you're a professional flexer. Busting the jug out the Uber, might just pull off in that Tesla. I am so young and so reckless, drinking this mud cause I'm restless. Host stop calling my phone, I don't got time for them. Yo, I sip a brick of this Tetris, I spent the bag on this necklace. I buy an eighth and I stretch it. I got a Primo in Texas, all of my teeth they shining, yeah. All of these diamonds dancing, yeah. I can't see what time it is, then we're taking a chance there. Ay. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did.
These niggas ain't taking no chances. These niggas don't wanna be bossy. They sleep, but I'm waking their game up. I'm handing these niggas their coffee. I sold 2 bitches a Molly. Both of them bitches was feeling all on me. One of them hoes was my old bitch. The other bitch was a homie. These niggas is phony. They cannot clone me, cause I'm the one and the only. Don't try to hold me. I go baloney, beating your ass like Toby. What is you niggas without me? I'm starting to feel like Kobe. They talking drugs, I never met a plug. Still buying trip for 40.
Ay. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did. Wow.
This is what taking them chances did. Gonna put a nigga in a mansion quick. No, I'm not taking my time with this. Ain't wasting my time on a mindless bitch. Ain't taking time to try to find a bitch. Ain't got no time to be trying shit. I cannot take no chances. Let's just come in with advances. Diamonds, diamond, diamond dancing. All my shooters got bananas. Got a bad bitch, yeah, she way better than my last bitch. That was bad business. She ride the dick like a pony. Fresh macaroni, she need a trophy. She fucking the homie, but she still on me.
This what taking them chances did. Ay. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did. This what taking them chances did.
I was on the block to the spot with a knot. I'm trying to get this shit off. Always stand on my own, bitch. I'm grown. I refuse to be losing, bitch. I've been a boss. Might just ice out a cross. I cannot stand at no loss. Got no days, I'm taking off. Got the juice, I blend the sauce. Fucking with me cause they see me when it wasn't with me when I was falling off. My niggas really with it. Yeah. Your bitch, I really hit it. I really hit it. My bitches really get it. Send them on a mission, then I check the chicken. Wanna make the bands, gotta take a chance. She been big pack, tryna rake it in. Nah, nigga, we ain't making friends. We just proceed and watch them finish slash. Nigga, blood.
again, that was Stunna Kid.
This was Taking Them Chances, dude.
That's the shit. All right, so we're going to get into one of the biggest topics of this week because everybody's been going crazy and everybody's been having their opinions on it. And apparently, I'm the one with the unpopular opinion about Cardi B. So, we all know that Cardi B made the video this week talking about how she used to drug men after the club and rob them.
Actually, she said that's an old video.
Okay,
It got released this week, though.
Where she was admitting to doing that in the past.
Thanks.
And a lot of people's like, oh, this is the double standard of not trying to go against a woman, but you're going to come against a man in a certain kind of way. She should go to jail if Bill Cosby went to jail. And this is where I feel like there is a major difference in what was going on in general. She said that she would drug them and rob them. Bill Cosby, and this other story that I'll tell you guys about a little bit later, they were drugging people and raping them.
Right, and we also have to acknowledge that they were coming for a prostitution act. Like, they were coming to buy sex from her.
Already, it says that like she was a sex worker.
She was a sex worker.
That's what she did.
I just want to acknowledge, though, on her sex worker thing, that in her song she released on the album, what is it, Living My Best Life?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, where she's like, I said dance, not fuck, don't get it confused. No, bitch, you had it confused. You was doing both.
Yeah, right. I mean, maybe there was some times she said dance, not fuck, and other times, she was like, hey, let's get this money in this other way. But the stripping lifestyle, like, that's going to be common in the stripping lifestyle.
Facts.
And
Most strippers are also prostitutes.
Right. So everybody was, like I said, there was people upset. One of my mains that always be tapped in, he was high key upset.
Yeah, I seen you guys arguing a little
mains,
later.
Actually.
Two? Who else?
Yeah. It was Quiana.
Oh, Quiana didn't agree?
She posted about it, and that's what actually made me start.
Pay attention.
Amira, she said that, yes, it's slime culture, like scamming. She feels like Cardi B should be in trouble for it as well. I had said, one of the things I had said, well, like, robbing, like, how many of your homeboys you know done robbed somebody?
How
like,
many of you guys hit a lick?
Everybody?
Like, I feel like most people have hit a lick.
Right, and I do not condone drugging other people. Like, I definitely don't feel like you should have or she should have been drugging anybody. I think that drugging somebody against their will is absolutely wrong. But do I give it the same weight as I give somebody drugging and raping somebody? No, I don't. There's a whole lot more emotional trauma to rape, taking the drugging out the situation, because that's wrong, period.
I don't care what you're doing with them. You need to stop drugging people.
Right. The emotional distress on a person getting raped to a person getting robbed, totally different.
Facts.
Totally different. It's not going to affect you lifelong like it did before. I've been robbed before. I've had my door kicked in and robbed before. How can you compare that with being raped? In my own head, I wouldn't compare that with being raped.
It's nowhere near the same. Like, rape is a lifelong trauma. You have to live with that. You have to process that. You feel like you yourself are at that point less thin. Like, there's a lot of emotions that come with it.
Yeah, and then just the whole thing of people don't want to be the victim, but then they are a victim, so then they just hold it in and live with it instead of dealing with it or talking about it or anything like that. They have to deal with that forever. And then the lack of trusting people around yourself,
your kids,
well
any future.
Kids.
You don't see the good in people that much anymore. You always have that feeling,
Like Gabrielle Union talked about it in her book when we read her book back on episode 5.
Yeah.
And she talked about how she was violently raped, and even to this day,
she doesn't like being touched.
It still makes her jump when people come up and grab her, run up on her, even though they're just excited fans. Sometimes she still has that trauma living from there.
Where she has to pull back and all of that.
Because she got robbed before? No, not at all. Like,
most people get robbed, especially in a situation where you went to go meet up with a prostitute and you get skimmed. Like, that's kind of hood life. Not to say her drugging them's okay, but you getting robbed by the prostitute you're meeting up with is part of dealing with a prostitute sometimes. You
might
take
get
that
robbed.
risk.
You might get
dead
robbed
ass-
messing with any Cardi B song. You want to mess with her? She don't even know your middle name. Like,
Facts. Like,
That's
That's
real.
life,
Anytime
yo.
you're messing with somebody that you don't even really know like that, you might get robbed. That's what she said in the thing.
Yeah.
I hope she rob you. Like,
I hope she
was
rob
She was
you.
speaking from experience.
but at the same token, like you said, drugging on any aspect, just like the little 19-year-old who drugged somebody, is not fucking okay. Do not drug people. Why are you unwillingly making them high?
Is this the episode of drugging?
You know what's crazy when I think about drugging? I think about one time when I got expelled from school. I don't want to hear it, Shalicia. Anyways, we took this class on like drugs and shit. I didn't even get suspended or expelled for drugs. I expelled for a box cutter, but same difference. Anyways, I don't want to hear it, Shalicia. Just drink your coffee. Anyways, in the class they were talking about drugs, and they were talking about how this dude caused himself to have a self-inflicted heart attack because he was high, and he thought his heartbeat was irregular, but him focusing so much on his heartbeat being irregular actually caused it to go irregular. And if you don't know you're high, that's shit that could happen.
No, that can really happen high or not. So
Right, but if you don't know you're high, like if somebody drugs you and you don't realize you're high because,
oh yeah,
like, I could see that happening, like you being confused, like what the fuck is going on and causing yourself to have a self-inflicted heart attack. That's what I always think about when I hear people drug people. Like, I don't know why out of everything in that class, that's the one that stuck with me.
funny story of my past.
Oh,
for
Lord.
our listeners.
Allegedly or good?
No, this really happened. It's nothing illegal involved.
Okay.
Well, okay, so, ooh.
Allegedly. Yeah, that
So we
lets
were
us know it
going
had to be
to-
alleged.
Nah, so, me and my cousin was at work. I'm just gonna omit the year. We're at work.
Oh, I
and
know
we needed
this.
we needed to go to the liquor store before we went out. And so we were at work. We weren't going to get off in time. And we were in a city where the liquor store closed really early. This was before they passed the laws where they sold the liquors in the regular stores.
Mm-hmm.
And so we needed to get off of work. And I was like, okay, how are we going to do this? What excuse are we going to use? We got to get out of here. You know, but we can't lose our jobs. Can't lose your job to party, right? So my cousin, Renee, she says that she's just going to pretend like she's having an asthma attack. Since I'm the one who drove to work, it would be perfect because then we would end up being able to leave. So she starts to mimic having an asthma attack. Both of us have asthma. We're very aware of what it looks like when you're having an asthma attack, the shortness of breath and all of that. Well, in having her fake asthma attack and making her breaths go short and stuff like it actually turned into her having a real asthma attack. So she caused herself to have an asthma attack. They're trying to get her to the hospital, like get in the ambulance, and I'm like, listen, you ain't got medical insurance. I got a car. We know what's going on right now.
We know how to deal with
this. We know how
this.
to deal with it. All we got to do is get to the house where the medicine is. You know, we didn't live horribly far from where we worked. You'll be fine if you don't get into that ambulance. The job is looking at me like I'm trying to kill her. Okay, they're like, I can't believe you're telling her that. And I'm just looking at them, giving them the side eye.
You were in
talking to
Spokane,
Renee.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
so-
makes sense.
like, I'm like, no, we're not. You're not. Don't get into the ambulance. It's obviously
If you
your
get into
choice,
the
but
ambulance,
you're
you're dumb
tripping.
as
You're
shit.
gonna
Like,
have-
we have asthma attacks at least once a year.
They're gonna take you to the hospital and give you a treatment. We got it at home. Like, what are you doing? You
Hey,
know?
we the ones that wake up having full-fledged asthma attacks and just steal the kids a Buterol and give ourselves treatments. Like,
And so it was just so funny because she literally had a self-inflicted asthma attack, which turned into us missing the liquor store anyway. So all of that to get off of work an hour early to make it to the liquor store, and
y'all never made it to the liquor store.
costed us even getting any liquor for that night. Well, you know, pre-funk liquor for the night.
And now her ass done had an asthma attack. A real asthma
Now
attack.
she had a real
Oh, if
asthma
that ain't some
attack.
karma shit, I ain't never
For
heard
no
of it.
reason. Oh gosh, that was the funniest thing ever though.
That is hilarious.
Now that a little sidebar there. Back into the episode of drugging.
Why is this an episode full of drugging? What's sad is we don't discuss these shows before we're sitting here.
But it always seems to like have it lines up.
Yeah, every
time.
single time. Like, we don't discuss. I show up here if I didn't stay at night
Oh
because
my
this is
God.
my other house.
Oh my God, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Julian Everett. He's 35 from Maryland, accused of drugging and raping teens while pretending to be a Howard University student. He owned a
There's
barber-
way too much going on in that sentence. Wait. He's drugging kids, he's raping kids, and he's pretending to be a Howard University student. So he's black. Because Howard University is a historically black college, right?
He's black. He owns a barber shop that's near the school.
Oh my God, what the fuck's going on?
His first offense was when he was 17.
Oh my God, what the fuck's going on?
Oh my God, what the fuck is going on? That is the name of the segment.
Yeah, because this is what it makes you think about. Oh my God,
Exactly.
what the fuck?
I read this article and I said, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? And that now became a segment. Oh my God, what the fuck
With
is going on?
oh my God, what the fuck is going on? With the mention of this dude drugging, raping people. If you at this point aren't carrying a knife on you at all times, I'm judging you.
Right. I got judged for carrying a knife too. Well, that's a different sidebar. Before, let me finish the story. He owns a barbershop near the school. His first offense was when he was 17, where he kidnapped a woman and then beat her because he found out it was actually a transgender.
Well, you shouldn't have kidnapped her. She was just living her best life.
Facts. And it was a kid. Like, it was somebody who was under the age of 17 at that. That was his first offense. Like, your first offense is something violent at 17 years old. That's crazy. He was arrested last week on several counts, but he does have a lawyer saying it's all just accusations.
You don't get accused that much, my G.
2 students called him out specifically after being a victim, and when they were making their police report, the police realized that their story actually matched several other reports that they had gotten recently that they didn't have a perpetrator for.
Oh, so the other
they
people were
believe-
too drugged to...
They believe he was the perpetrator because the facts align with the previous reports.
First off, I feel bad for all the people that had to report that. I feel bad for anyone that gets raped. Like, that's traumatizing right there.
Mm-hmm. And I've known multiple people. I've known people who were, like, molested, raped at a young age, kind of like, I didn't know what was going on kind of thing. I've known people who were choked out and violently raped. Like, personally know these type of people.
Yeah, and it's traumatizing. You can see the effects on it for the rest of their lives. Like, you
I know
can...
people who were molested by their fake uncles, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Like, and that's why I do put a limit to certain things when it comes to my kids. Like, even though we have a very big family,
Not
and
everybody's
we might call
babysitting.
our cousin, our aunt, or something like that, which is totally different. But as far as just letting your kids around any outsider friend, this, that, just being comfortable with, like, there's reasons why.
First off,
we can't
you
be
don't
like
let a lot of people watch your kids. It's strictly family, and it's strictly close family.
Facts. My kids.
You'll not go. If I can't get them and mom can't get them, there's like 3 other people, or it's like it's
Yeah,
a
there's
dub.
a handful of family members that I'll let them go with, and then otherwise I'll just be like, no, because my obligation is to my kids.
Facts.
Even my kids know. I can ask them right now, what's going to happen in this situation, and my kids will say, always side with the kids. Like, they'll literally say that because they know that that's going to be my answer. You always side with the kids. If the kids don't want to go and it's really upsetting them, there's a reason why.
Facts. And it may just because they feel that they don't even feel comfortable, but your kid shouldn't be somewhere they don't have to feel comfortable.
Right.
Like,
Period. You know,
At all.
I remember when I was a kid, I had a babysitter who I just didn't like being there. And the lady was just really mean, actually, is what it was. She wasn't mean to us, but she was mean to her kids.
Mm-hmm.
One specifically that was like my favorite one. Like, if he wasn't there and I couldn't go down there and be with him and the dog always was in his room, which was in the basement.
was it like a step kid or something?
No?
It was her kid she just didn't like. She must not like that daddy.
Probably something like that. I mean, I didn't know their full story, but I know that was her kid. I know that he stayed in the room in the basement, and which was huge, by the way. Usually basements are huge, you know. But he would be down there with his dog. But if he wasn't there, I would literally just sit by the door the whole time in the chair. Like, I wouldn't get up the whole time I was there at her house. And when my mom found that out, she was like so hurt because she never knew. Like, I would always say I'm fine, you know, and I was fine. Like, nothing was physically happening to me, you know what I mean? she was just really mean to her kid. And I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do here? You know? And you know me, I'll read too. So, you know, I might sit there hours reading. But it's still the fact of my mom, how hurt she was when she found out.
That you were just sitting there uncomfortably.
Just sitting there uncomfortably the whole time. And I don't want to put my kid in that kind of position. I don't want to put my kid in the position where they're being molested or anything like that. So pay attention to your children. We had a whole episode talk about paying attention to your kids. Pay attention to your kids. Heed the warning signs, all of that. And then stuff like this, like nobody can really like prepare for the possibility of getting the first one kidnapped and beaten, you know, or that he's going to drug you and rape you because it's college life, you know. And the cool part about it, though, is the ones that he got even then were underage, so they likely weren't even at the college.
Wait, so even though he's pretending to be a college student, he wasn't getting college women?
It said that the most recent victim was like 17. That's still high school. They weren't even at the college. But he was pretending to be a college student.
But that makes sense of how he could lure
them in?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you want to go to this college party with me? Come turn up. How many girls in high school that you know was pumped about their little college booze?
Right. We talked about that too on a live when we've had that conversation about how many girls was pulling up when we talking about the whole R. Kelly situation. Like, but when you was in high school, you was talking to these other dudes. I personally wasn't, but I definitely had friends who was messing with a lot of military dudes in their early 20s.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Like that was a big.
It was real normal.
It's real, especially in Washington State because there's so many fucking military bases.
A lot of military.
Hella, there was like 6 different military bases in the state.
Even more prevalent in Tacoma than in Seattle because the bases are all right here.
Right, because Seattle only got that one in Bellevue. We got like 3 right here. But yeah, bitches, that's normal. But wasn't it you that said you went down south or to like New York or some shit? And you said that niggas try and get younger bitches because they want them.
I was talking to one of my homeboys down south, and we were having a conversation about that kind of thing. And basically, he was saying like there's no way that a girl would be 16-year-old down south and still a virgin. He was like, they usually get them younger than that. He laughed when he said it, too. He was like, yeah, no. He was like, we definitely usually get them younger than that. And he was saying that majority of them are losing their virginity about 13.
About 13? Mm-hmm. So right when they hit teenagers?
Right. So right when they're going into, middle school, 8th grade?
Yeah, I think 13th, 8th grade. 13 was freshman year for me. I mean,
when I was in middle school, I definitely knew some females that was fucking.
Definitely knew some females. I think I know a bitch that got pregnant in middle school.
Actually, speaking of, I had a girl who was my friend, and I did not know this was going on until after the story evolved and came out crazy. But she was sleeping with our home ed teacher. I was in the 8th grade.
Hey, my sophomore year, my school had a huge scandal of where the principal's daughter was fucking the math teacher.
Wow.
And I was like in shock because I love this math teacher. Like it makes me feel weird now, but he was like nice to me. Like I used to skip his class whenever I wanted. I'd come in and take the test. And he had the finest student teacher, bruh. Like the finest. And I used to get away with murder in that damn class. Like, Hannah used to be so mad she wasn't in that class with me because she'd be like, I'm on first lunch. I'd be like, nigga, I'm on my way. She'd be like, what the fuck? Go to class.
I was never at lunch, but it wasn't the teacher's permission.
But yeah, it came out that he just all of a sudden went real depressed because his wife found out first and asked him for a divorce, and they had like a 1-year-old. And then all of a sudden the police came and arrested him because, it came out he was fucking the principal's daughter that went to the school.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I don't think that I had any teacher that was even cute enough for me to contemplate.
I only had a student teacher.
In high school.
I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he was no older than like 22,
Oh, there was a basketball
23.
coach though back in the day. He was hella cute. I'm not even gonna lie.
He was like 22, 23. He was chocolate.
There was multiple of us on the girls' team. Like, that boy's coach for this school. I'm not even gonna say the name of the school. I'm not even gonna say the coach's name. Even though
You
I
gonna
still
pull a
remember
me?
it.
Yeah, I feel
But-
it. we ain't giving no
I still
name.
remember it, but it was like.
Yeah, I seen him too, and he's still fine. I was like, you remember me? He was like, hell yeah, I remember you. I was like, yeah.
She was excited that he remembers me. No, I'm just playing. We're gonna go ahead and play a song for you guys, and then we're gonna come back and end the episode. Appreciate you guys being part of this as always. This next song that we're gonna play is "They Never" by Redhead, produced by our own Street Plug's own DJ K5.
Hey, for the win.
They know,
I'm gonna fight you.
I keep trying to move it.
they know. They never thought I would make it. Why would you trade all that love for some hatred? I come from right in the basement. Silhouette leaking, we need renovation. I ain't reaching out to no more niggas. All these niggas tried to play me. I ain't never trusted no more. Bitches took my heart and tried to break it. No, I ain't, no, I ain't, no, I ain't, don't need you. She like you, look like you keep a bag on you. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I'd be some. Your opinions, nigga, I don't need them. Struggling over and over. What were you when I need some? I got the bag on me. They turn their back on me. Yeah, smashing the gas on it. Look like a mask on it. Whoa, you feeling no way, nigga? Then you should act on it. I told my niggas that we was going. Can't see me in it, they got too much attention. Yeah, I tried to show niggas love. They never show this shit back. She say I'm the one she love. I can't trust none of that. When you really coming up, it's so easy to adapt. Bitches always gonna fall. I'd rather go chase me about. And I can't stand up broke, nigga. Only fuck with gold getters. Why this bitch all in my section acting like she know niggas? Bitch, we don't know you. If you know what I been through, I'll make it rain on you. Cause I remember when they said they never thought I would make it. Why would you trade all that love for some hatred? I come from right in the basement. Silhouette leaking, we need renovation. I ain't reaching out to no more niggas. All these niggas tried to play me. I ain't never trusted no more. Bitches took my heart and tried to break it. No, I ain't, no, I ain't, no, I ain't, don't need you. She like you, look like you keep a bag on you. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it. I had to go run it all, I did. They don't wanna see me on top right here. Now I'm popping, I know, yeah. They pulling up to my shows, yeah. Yeah, dance, dance, dance with me. I got bands on me. She wanna fuck on me. She know this dick not free, no. Oh. They never wanted a nigga to blow, no. Said I had to get it and go, oh. You never was real and I know, yeah. I'ma pull up in a Wraith one day. I'ma count 100 mil one day. I told them I would make it one day, but they all just laughed right in my face. I had to do this shit my way. They never thought I would make it. Why would you trade all that love for some hatred? I come from right in the basement. Silhouette leaking, we need renovation. I ain't reaching out to no more niggas. All these niggas tried to play me. I ain't never trusted no more. Bitches took my heart and tried to break it. No, I ain't, no, I ain't, no, I ain't, don't need you. She like you, look like you keep a bag on you. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it. They never thought I would make it.
Alright, again, that was They Never by Redhead, produced by K5. Shout out to them. Always Street Plug Official. You already know how we do. And thank you for listening to another episode of Champagne Mornings. We're going to go ahead and close out this episode for this morning. Black businesses to shout out.
Do you got some, or you need me to tap in? What to tapping in?
This one I'm gonna do is simply network marketing. So,
Okay.
one of my followers had, when we posted about black businesses and things like that, and he does a series of network marketing. And network marketing, I feel like, is a good way to get into having businesses of your own. It teaches you valuable skills. It teaches you how to be outgoing in sales.
It puts you around the right type of people because you have to actively go to those meetings and things to keep on. Yeah.
Right. So he had quite a few different ones. He does a credit repair, which we've been seeing a lot of people get into the network marketing of credit repair. He also does the health wellness detox tea, and he actually has a different one between. It's called IXQ TV, which is a plug-on cable for $40 a month, and it gives you 8,000 channels.
Does it have all the good channels though?
And you can load it onto a Fire Stick with 2 connections. Well, Fire Sticks be having everything, basically.
If you unlock them. Yeah, but to support him, I need to be able to still have like MTV and all of that. Does it still have all of that?
Well, I'm on contract with DirecTV, and if you have questions like that, you should definitely hit him directly. His Instagram, is Swag Daddy Pound King.
Sir?
Not quite a business Instagram,
I think,
right?
yeah, he should have to make another one for business.
Probably should make another one for business. But for now, if that's how you guys are trying to get credit repair,
Internet
cable for
or
low,
cable.
make sure you guys tap in with him. Again, his Instagram is Swag Daddy Pound King. On Facebook, his name is David Archibald.
Are you saying his last name right?
Archibald.
I just felt like you weren't saying it right just because how you pronounce it.
It's Archibald. Okay? He's a business owner looking to connect with an individual who wants more in life.
Ask him if
That
he
is
wants to
his
be
bio.
interviewed. Mr. Archibald. Or Swag Daddy Pound King.
Swag Daddy Pound King. Hey, she remembered it, so it was memorable.
It's
so maybe
very
it's
memorable.
Not that bad of a name.
Hey.
I don't know, but make sure you
'Cause
guys
I'm-
tap into
shit.
him. Of course, business ventures, entrepreneurship in any light, we respect it. We think it's a good thing. Make sure you keep doing what you're doing, and it just gives you the building blocks to keep going.
Facts. And if you have any, we are still putting on our Black Business Tour of the Washington State. So if you have any Black businesses that you know of, that you own, that your cousins, granddaddies, aunties, baby's dad owns, let us know because we want to support all of them. We're finna start linking up with these people and going.
I'm going to a tour, telling about the business, making sure we give you guys some exposure for the community. Loving it. So thank you guys again. Appreciate everything. Champagne Mornings, episode 52. You guys been rocking with us, and we appreciate you.